I've been wanting to do this review for quite some time. However, I felt like there was never a safe place to do it. Ghostbusters 2016, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, or what I call it, Fembusters. I'm not sexist. I just feel like there's nowhere, anywhere that you can mention this movie, anywhere at all, without a war starting. Now, some people like this movie, some people hate this movie. Me? I love it. I'm sorry, I do. It's a fantastic movie. And I might love it a little bit more than the original. Don't you want to hear my reasons why? Whew, okay. So, you finished? Good. Now the first thing I'm going to talk about first is the fact of the original Ghostbusters. To many people, including myself, it is considered a classic, a cult classic. It is nigh untouchable because of its cemented place in history. Well, to what I say on that is, the original Ghostbusters did not become what it was overnight. Yeah, it might have became a big hit, it might have scored big at the theaters, but it took years and years of dedicated fans and everything watching the movie, talking about it, you know, it being mentioned in other movies and everything, people doing videos on it and everything, for it to earn its status of what it is today. Now, just because it is a cult classic, though, doesn't mean that it can't be rebooted. If you think about it, there are quite a few good reboot movies out there. You got The Karate Kid. And to be perfectly honest, that's the only one I can think of, or the only one that I've seen that's actually a good remake. And then you got not so good remakes like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Nicolas Cage's The Wicker Man. However, when you do get a good remake like The Karate Kid, it tells its own story with having elements of the original in it. This new Ghostbusters film does exactly that. It takes a few ideas from the original Ghostbusters, but completely makes it their own. And I believe that if it ever gives it a shot, and it gets a sequel, that it might actually, at some point down the line, in a few decades, hit that cult classic status. But it's not going to do that just because half the people who refuse to watch it are either sexist and didn't think that an all-female cast would be good, or refused to watch it because, like a lot of people with, a good example, Alien by Ridley Scott. If anybody tried to remake that, there's tons of people, even my own dad, who would jump on the bandwagon of no, you can't touch it. Simple enough. I'm going to keep this not super spoiler free, but as best as I can. It's been about 2 years, about a year and a half. The movie has been out a while. Simple to the story. Unlike the first one, the story does start off the same a little bit, with the main characters, two of them working in a laboratory who work for this university, where one who gave up the ghost life and became a teacher, which is already something different, until she's given a book by a guy that she wrote asking to help him with a ghost problem. And then she goes to her said old friend, meets these new people and everything, and decides, okay, I'll go and do this if you will take down the book off Amazon and people will stop threatening my tenure as a teacher. So, same thing happens as like in the library. They do see the ghost, and they fully have final proof and decide that they're going to get together and study these things, capture ghosts and all that. And that is basically where the similarities of the original begin. From then, it leads on to them going to the firehouse, and instead of getting the firehouse, has one of the most hilarious scenes in the entire movie. This one.
We'll take it. Great. The rent is $21,000 a month. Fuck you. Excuse me.
That's hilarious. You can't tell me it's not. I can watch that over and over again. Just that line alone cements this movie for me. So instead of getting the firehouse, they get a Chinese place. And as they get a Chinese place, they need a secretary. Now, a lot of people complained about said secretary, who was played by Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, baby.
Yes, that Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, my God.
He plays the secretary in this movie. Now, people said that he was really stupid and just not funny because he hits a gong and covers his eyeballs because it was loud. He's not a very intelligent person. If you look at this scene here...
Is it the boobs you don't like? Because I can make them bigger.
No, I can see them. Ghost Tits was my nickname in middle school.
All right.
You know what? I think it's not always about the end result. It's about the journey.
Well, what about this one?
Oh, I think that's already a thing.
What, 711?
It's 7-Eleven?
Yep, it is. I have another option, though.
Okay, please.
Is this one? Nah, that's one of my favorites.
I think you might have made a mistake. I don't think that one's for us.
Oh, no, that's for you. No, I just thought the floating hot dog implies that a ghost is holding it.
Those were his design options for their logo. A hot dog floating above a house. A ghost hot dog floating above the house. This guy clearly isn't all there. But it gives more points on me because his name is Kevin, which is my dad's name. So, Kevin decides that, they're like, you know what, yeah, we're going to pick you basically because he's a hunk. Nothing else. And that is the joke. He is a sexy dumbass who gets the job because he's sexy. There's nothing to that. He's stupid, he has a dog called My Cat. He's clearly not all there. Sorry, I was thinking if I wanted to say the name again. There's still Pariah back there. Kevin, played by Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, my God. Ooh, what an ass.
He's sexy.
We get it, okay? That character becomes their secretary and everything. He's actually the one who ends up getting possessed by the main villain, Rowan, who his idea is not to bring out the Keymaster or the Gatekeeper and resurrect someone named Zool. His idea is to take lane lines and disturb the barrier that is holding all the ghosts out of our world into it, which is another really interesting idea. It's not the story of the original one. Yeah, all the ghosts are released, but if you remember in that one, they had Mr. Dick turn off their power grid and release all the ghosts they captured. These Ghostbusters haven't been around for months and everything like the original ones. They are fresh and just started. By doing this, he breaks the barrier and floods New York City with ghosts and everything. And as the typical thing happens with any other movie, he gets defeated in the end, and the Ghostbusters are, heroes and everything, even though they have been turned by the government into a pariah, basically, and said that they are frauds. But it doesn't matter because the city knows that they saved them. That's basically it. I'm not going to go into huge detail about the story. That's not what this is about. Characters, on the other hand, are what make this movie probably really, really good. You've got Abby Yates, Erin, I don't remember her last name, sorry. And then you've got Patty, who plays basically the same character as Ernie Hudson. She has a job, then she doesn't have a job, and then she decides she just wants to join them because she knows New York City. She knows the history and all that. She's not a scientist, but she knows all that. And that's her role. Then you have what is considered the best character within all Ghostbusters history, Dr. Julie Holtzman.
Oh.
You suck.
Now, hold on. I'm still a big fan of Venkman, Peter Venkman all the way, but to me, Holtzman just made me laugh more.
Boo.
You suck.
Okay. It seems like you guys need some convincing, so take a look at all this. This is all Holtzman right here.
Laser?
You have the longest arms.
Oh, they used a chromium alloy for the hull. I would have used aluminum, but I'm crazy.
I can think of 7 good uses of a cadaver today. No.
Holtzman, this is serious. And I agree. We all agree. Except for Kathy, she doesn't get it.
What?
Come and get your sandwich. Come and get your sandwich, please.
You want your little sandwich?
Doing! Not my babies! Welcome back! Let's go.
Got some kind of next level stuff. Case in point.
What is this for? It catches ghosts and it transports them somewhere else. I don't know where, but I have a feeling it's Michigan.
It's completely unstable.
We need this safety light.
Safety lights are for dudes.
There. You cannot tell me that not one of those scenes made you fall in love with Holtzman. She is hilarious, she's batshit crazy, and she fills the void of that Venkman character, but she is by far the best character in the movie. Every scene she is in, she steals the show. Except one scene where she is actually very serious. Other than that, it's nigh on nuts the entire time, and she's the one who creates all these awesome gadgets and everything. And then you have, of course, I explained, Mr. Helmsworth's Kevin.
Oh my gosh.
He's so sexy.
No, he's not. He's just an actor.
Oh my gosh, he can put his shoes under my bed anytime.
Okay, that's enough. The secretary, you know about him. The only other really main character of the entire movie is Rowan, the bad guy, who was bullied as a kid, believed in the paranormal, bought Aaron and Abby's book, and decided to build a machine based off their research to break said barrier. He's basically, that's what he is. He was bullied as a kid and everything, and it's a lot different than an actual god from the first one. More similarities that are different. Those are your characters. There are cameos in the movie. Now, this is actually what made me almost want to go see this in the theater. The cameo people that they got back were Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, and the secretary from the original two Ghostbusters films. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. This person. And they all play a very short but interesting role. And I believe that they would not have come back to do a cameo if they didn't feel that this movie was good. Even Ivan Reitman, who produced the original Ghostbusters 1 and 2 and the video game, helped executive produce this movie. Bill Murray's character, instead of being the Peter Venkman smartass, he is a debunker of the paranormal. Who, well...
Casper?
Oh man.
Hey, that man went out the wrong door.
Yeah, he gets flown out of a fucking window by a ghost, which, to be honest, is funny, and then Holtzman gives another line, which this, to me, seems to be the only slap at the original Ghostbusters, when she states, "I don't think he was Ghostbusters material." Which is funny, and there are a lot of people who probably left the theater right after that. Dan Aykroyd's character, people complained, I thought it was funny as hell. He was just a taxi driver who Erin needed to get where she needed to go, and normal taxi driver who could tell what type of vapors were roaming around, class 5 vapors and everything in that, these ghosts and everything, and he told her exactly what they were. And then, okay, I will admit, it wasn't super funny, but the fact that he just nonchalantly, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and drives off, that was, to me, that was funny. I liked that. It was still Dan Aykroyd. It was entertaining. Ernie Hudson, basically he plays Patty's uncle, who they get the new Ecto-1 from. And that reminds me too, the Ecto-1s are completely different. That was one thing people complained about too, which was because how can you take something so iconic as the Ecto-1 and completely change it, but try to keep true to the original? And they did. I like the new Ecto-1. It does stay true to the original, in a way, but it's got its own flair to it. The best thing on the Ecto-1 in this movie is the little fucking ghost hood ornament there. That does not come in the actual Lego set. It's just a little freaking stud. But in the movie, that thing is awesome. And also, too, Holtzman is the one who created this Ecto-1, built it and everything, painted it and all that. And it's awesome. It's so awesome. I love it. Anyway, with Ernie Hudson being Patty's uncle, who also gets pissed at her at the end because the car's on the other side, and she can't give it back to him, is he could show up if there was a sequel, if there's a sequel, he could show up in a more prominent role. One, he didn't die, and he's actually related to one of the Ghostbusters. Then you got what by far actually fits as one of the best cameos, which was Sigourney Weaver's. Now, you might disagree with me, but the fact that Sigourney Weaver's character is Holtzman's mentor, who acts all, scientific and is straight-laced and everything, but pretty much informs Holtzman during the end credits that this thing, someone sneezes wrong and everything will go nuclear, and Holtzman's like, it's completely unsafe, and to me that fits. Sigourney Weaver can play some really out there characters, and having her as Holtzman's mentor might mean we might get to see her again. And I would like to see that. I really love Sigourney Weaver's work. And I'm really hoping that they still do Neil Blomkamp's freaking Alien film, because I'd like to see Ripley back just one more time. And then you've got the secretary, who plays her same place. As they go to a hotel to, help out, she's talking on her phone like herself from the original Ghostbusters. That's basically, she plays her exact same character. She's someone who works at the hotel, who is the secretary and everything, and that's basically all she does. They really didn't need to change anything about her, and they did. It was just really... I'm sorry, I don't know her name, and you guys are going to hound me on it and everything. She did a really good job, but she really didn't have to put any effort into it because it's the same thing. Action. Action in this movie, to me, was good. Now, again, I might get hated for this. I do like the original Ghostbusters, but there's one thing that they did that, I don't know today's standards, that people think was still entertaining. They, hold on, I need a prop. Let's just pretend what this is, okay? In the movies, the original Ghostbusters, all they did was this. True, they would move around like this and everything and pop out traps and everything, but literally, all they did was this in both movies. How did they defeat Gozer in the end? They crossed the streams. Nothing. There's, and I get the point. The original Ghostbusters was not an action movie. But with this movie, we get that freedom. We get the freedom on the fact of the best action scene in the entire movie is just amazing. It's near the end, when all of New York City is being overrun by ghosts, and the Ghostbusters whip out their proton pack, taking grenades and throwing them and blowing up the ghosts. They're sliding and using the proton pack and whipping them around. It's just so cool, and it's something very unique and different that they added for this movie. And then you got the best part of that fight ever, which is Holtzman.
Okay.
Thank you. Who takes out these freaking pistols, who she calls her new toys, and you know what, here.
Forgot about my new toys. Let's go.
If that didn't get you on Team Holtzman, then there's probably nothing can, because that is the best scene ever. Just taking freaking the whips and everything and whipping them around, and Holtzman whips. Anyways, just taking and whipping them around and everything and that, doing some taking ghosts, and teaching them, that those ghosts are very, very bad, and it's just a really good scene in general. Now, the main concerns are the controversies. The controversies that started way before the movie even was made, and way after the movie decided to come out in theaters. The first one being their logo. Now, if you go back to the original Ghostbusters, Ray didn't explain where the logo came from. He just brought the Ecto-1 that he bought, painted it up and everything, and the logo was just there, which is fine. There wasn't really a need of an explanation. But in this one, they decided to flip the script. Holtzman basically steals a piece of street art from somebody who decided to paint it on a subway wall to show them that he saw a ghost. And Holtzman takes a picture of it, and it becomes their logo. And as long as he doesn't claim copyright laws, it's all good. I like that there's a backstory to the logo. It's different from the original, another thing that sets it apart from the original GB. Second part of controversy, of course, is the biggest one. It's an all-female cast. The first Ghostbusters was an all-male cast. So just because it's a remake, does that mean that it's got to be another full male cast? The remake of The Karate Kid starred a black kid. Not a white kid, a black kid, and he was younger too. You know, and instead of it being karate, he learned kung fu. But that is a pretty good remake. So why is that okay, but why is it females? What is with people thinking that females can't do the same thing as males can? Those females killed it for that movie. Holtzman especially. Holtzman, #1 Ghostbuster character. Unless they ever do, my fan art gets up of, Scooby-Doo wearing a Ghostbusters uniform and everything. Then that's the #1 Ghostbusters. But, they did what they were supposed to do. The humor works for females. And that is something I will admit, and again, I'm not sexist, but that is something that people have to focus on. When you're doing a comedy movie, there are some things that work for females and work for males. Now, there are things that can work for both, but there are sometimes there's a joke that can be told better by a female or performed better than a female other than a male. Hell, there were some hilarious female freaking comedians on Saturday Night Live, and there still is today. Holtzman, the girl Kate McKinnon, I believe her name is from Saturday Night Live, and she's one of the reasons why Saturday Night Live is still running till this day. Because she just nails everything she does. She's one of the best characters, and if she ever left Saturday Night Live, it would leave a big gaping hole like when some of the original cast ended up leaving and they had to feel that. The last bit of controversy is, of the fact of it being a remake and that people believe that Harold Ramis is rolling around in his grave. This movie was made, it even says at the ending for Harold Ramis, and I don't think he's rolling around in his grave. I honestly believe Harold Ramis, if he was still alive, would have given his approval for this remake. It is a good remake. It takes what was loved about the original, but gives it its own thing. It kind of doesn't do that with the ending credit scene where Patty asks, "What's Zool?" Which kind of makes you think, oh, the sequel's going to focus on Zool and Gozer and all that. But at least with the first movie, it wasn't a complete remake, like the shot-for-shot remake of Psycho. That is a bad remake. The original Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock is amazing. How did they do the remake? They got new actors and Vince fucking Vaughn as Norman Bates, but they shot for shot the entire movie. Is that what you want? Would you have rather have seen these females shot for shot in the exact same thing as the original Ghostbusters? I don't. And here's a little project for you. Take the original Ghostbusters. Take Fembusters. Now, this might be hard, but flip them. What if Fembusters was not the remake, but was the original? And what if the original Ghostbusters was the remake that came out last year? Are you telling me that if that was true, then you would prefer the remake over the original? And you probably would. But if you reverse it, I bet you there are tons of people who would love the freaking female Ghostbusters because it was the original. And that happens with a lot of things. If you reverse a lot of stuff, you can actually find something that's better or anything. Or the sequel is better than the original, and if you would flip it, it would have turned out to be better and people would like it more. I really badly want a sequel to this film. And Kevin Verdi has even stated that, if that's the director again, sorry, even stated he wants to do more Ghostbusters films. However, because of the reaction and the box office sales, even though it made back more than half of what it spent to make the movie, but because of the poor sales and everything, he's not sure that he can continue the story with these characters. And that is a real shame. These new generation Ghostbusters are really great, and I am praying that there is a sequel made. I badly want a sequel, and you guys can hate me all you want. You can throw in the comments that he doesn't know what he's talking about, this remake sucks. That's your opinion. My opinion, and my family's opinion, the movie rocks. Chris Helmsworth.
Oh my God.
We get it, the guy's hot, okay. He did a good part. He played, instead of playing Thor, he played something completely opposite of what he played. Kate McKinnon, best character of the entire movie. Cameos actually looked like they wanted to be there. Rowan, he was a decent villain. He played this slarmy, janitor kind of guy, and it worked. He was a good villain. Aaron, good. I love the little joke that the slime keeps going after her. Melissa McCarthy. Hell, Melissa McCarthy lost her damn job on Something in Joey. And she lost a shit ton of weight to get this role, and now she lost that job on that show because she lost weight to do this movie. They are comedy geniuses who wrote this film. And I want a sequel. Simple as that. I want a sequel, and good God, if Harold Ramis was alive, he would probably be standing right here beside me saying the exact same thing. Maybe. I don't think Harold Ramis would have ever showed up at my doorstep anyway. Anyways, that is my opinion. For the new Ghostbusters film, Fembusters, I'm honestly giving it... I'm just making sure there was no gun. I'm giving it 10 Slimers out of 10. It is a fantastic movie. It is in some ways superior to the original film. The original film is still a cult classic. It'll stay a cult classic. And there's nothing I can change about that. But if these people who are hating on this movie could give it another chance, try watching it again. Try not focusing on the fact that it's a remake. And you actually might really, really enjoy it. I did. I'm hoping you guys could too. Thank you for watching. You have a more phenomenal